Do you know, I've mixed that song 10 times and it still sounds weird. Hello! Hello, everybody. How are we doing? Are we good? Hello! There's a Chip, there's a Kira, there's a Bear, there's a Ragdoll. They're our friends. I'm glad you like it. I mean, that one's not as good as the original, but that's because the original is, like, the best track on the album, on the soundtrack. So I thought I wouldn't try and be better than the original. I thought I'd just try and do something that's flamenco-y. There's a crash. Oh, yeah, I'm here. Good point. Very good point. Somewhat natural by the fact that I was the one reading the list, but nonetheless, every group needs a null element. How are we doing? Are we good? Let's put some music in the background. Ah, not that music. Something calm. We've just heard that. That'll do. Still important? Yeah, I guess. A poison ivy rashes. Oh, God. Again. Nature. Be nice to Kiro. Then you best not to claw up your arm doing some paperwork for stuff. Doing okay. Cool. Well, hopefully that clears itself up soon. That would be nice. Yeah, so welcome back to the Drawthrough, Final Fantasy IX Drawthrough. Hop onto the thing, for it is here. Ta-da. Thank you. Mine's a bit jerky, but that's, again, I try to lean into actual flamenco music, which turns out has really weird rhythms. So, yeah. Worked out. Got your bike tires checked out. Played some Borderlands. Nice. You need to get those bike tires checked, because you're getting all swole from the working out. They're gonna pop the bike tires. Bad. Got to reinforce them for all the muscles. Very full for daring to do yard work, despite how well you cover yourself up. This always happens. I will buy you a hazmat suit. Or Crimbleness. Issue was that your bike tires were very flat from the pressure of carrying musculars. They refuse to get swole. Ah, you gotta take them in. They gotta do some pumps. Is that a thing? Oh, there's a joke in there somewhere. I just don't know anything about exercise. So we're back doing Final Fantasy IX Drawthrough. I've added 4 new pieces of music in the background, 2 of which we opened with. The other 2 of which I just can't remember. I made them in the week. Shh. Right. How you doing? Yee. What was I saying? I don't know. Something. Music. Some music. There's a lot of music. We're up to an hour 12. An hour and 12 minutes worth of music for the background. I still have a few more that need to be finished. Bicycle pumps are a thing, and so is pumping and exercise. So there's a joke. There's a joke somewhere. Assemble your own joke. Need a joke repair kit, I think. So, I guess we should do a recap. This is Final Fantasy IX Drawthrough. I'm drawing the game from memory. No reference. I'm making stuff up if I forget. And with chat renaming all the characters, because that's how we roll here. Thank you very much. Last time we began with a storm on the sea, a makeshift raft splashing around in the stormy weather, a couple of people on it, an older woman and a small child. We zoomed in on the face of a small child and we were zapped to some clearly wealthy person waking up from a bad dream. Oh no. Who looked out of the window to see some Boyds and also an airship. We went into the airship and found a monkey friend. Sliding down a pole, as they do. We then went into a room, they picked up a thing, and we learned a bunch of characters' names, including the monkey friend, who is called Simeon M.N. Slut. M.N. stands for middle name, if I recall. They also have some of their colleagues, Alexander I, March, and Banana Man. Oh, sorry, Banana Min. Close. Not Banana Man, Banana Min. And before they could chat with each other, they were accosted by a fearsome dragon beast who came in and roared at them and attacked them. Turns out that was just their boss in a helmet. Their boss is Captain Durgan Porkus, slightly unorthodox fellow, but you know, they're here and they're in charge. And what are they in charge of? They're in charge of this theatre troupe who are going to the city of Alexandria to perform a play for the Queen. But what they're actually doing is they're planning to kidnap Princess Zolorda. Why, we don't know, but they are. And yeah, the play is for Queen Helga, who we will probably meet today. Yee. And that's the setup. Boom. Scene 1. Sorted. We then cut to scene 2. Completely different scene. We're in Alexandria, and we're with Vivi. Little baby Vivi. Doing good, just cooking dinner. Ooh, yum, what are you cooking? Baby Vivi watches the theatre ship fly overhead and is like, ah, I'm going to watch that play. Hooray. They are then bumped into by a hurried rat, literal rat, who says, oh, watch where you're going, and then runs away. In the process, Vivi drops their little ticket to the play, but a helpful little girl helps pick it back up and give it back to him. I think she nicked it and replaced it with a fake. We then go to the booth. Vivi hands over the ticket. Turns out it's a fake counterfeit. Oh no, they were sold a counterfeit ticket. Oh no, poor baby Vivi. Whatever will they do? Their day has been ruined. While wandering around Alexandria, they come across somebody with a ladder. The person with the ladder leaves, and Ratboy comes back and says, oi, I can get you into the play if you just do what I say. Follow me. So you do that. Along the way, you meet a couple of little Moogle friends, including Muffin, who is a Moogle who's going on a journey, which is very unorthodox for a Moogle. Apparently, they just like to stay where they are. I guess. Also, you learn that the Moogle postal system is busted, and you are now the postal system. That's incidental. We won't mention that again. After a bit of plodding along the roofs, Ratboy tells us his name, which is apparently Q Mark. No one remembered that. I certainly didn't. Although Dark on the last stream did suggest a name of Queek. So that's what the Q could stand for. I have no idea why we named him Q Mark. Queek Mark? Just sounds like somebody called Marcus Fast. But either way, yeah, we plod across some slightly rickety ladders and planks of wood between rooftops, and make our way to the castle walls, where Queek puts down the ladder, and we hop in, and then they sneak around the back, and then they watch the play from behind the stalls. Like, yeah, we're in, watching the thing, and that's that scene. We then cut to the play itself. It begins. Captain Porkus comes on stage and introduces the play, and that the play begins with these two lovers who are torn apart because one is a princess, I think, who has been assigned to marry a prince from a far-off land, but she in fact is in love with a commoner by the name of Banana Min. And we start with Banana Min storming the castle to fight against her father, the king, for his daughter's hand in marriage or whatever. And so we have a little scene with Banana Min playing Banana Min, and also March and I just think of Slut. I can't actually remember the name. Simeon, that's it. Yeah, but yeah, it plays a mixture of like, yeah, it's a very Shakespearean sort of thing, Romeo and Juliet kind of deal. Just Slut, yeah. That's another middle name, just. So yeah, and they're like, you know, friends of Banana Min, and they storm the castle together and they fight against the king. King Leo, if I recall. It's a character, that doesn't need a name. Aided by the two Gimp Hippos, Safe Word and Zippy. And yeah, there's a big showy set piece where everybody's fighting on stage and you can use spells that are actually special effects that don't do any damage, but they look cool for the audience. King Leo E. Also, he's wearing a wig now because we're on stage. He's the only person who changes costume. No, I think we came to the conclusion that everybody else was already in costume. Was that it? Which, again, I mean, March is like wearing some belts and a loincloth, so I don't know what sort of costume that is. Look, I've not watched a lot of Shakespeare. I don't know these things. I did watch, what's the word? Rendition? A version, an enactment of The Tempest at the Globe Theatre, and I understood none of it because we thought we were going to see a different play. Yes, character Bananamin is playing actually shares the original name as that of the particular character. Yeah, exactly. So it's coincidence that the character and the person share a name, which is why they're called Bananamin in this version as well. March was wearing a costume during this, so you could be remembering wrong. I don't remember one, so I'm going to assume no. Right, we pick up the action. I guess we pick up the action with some music. Which we've already heard in the introduction, and is not well mixed, but it's there. I remember how to draw now. How do you draw? So as they're gonna chase the king, they complete their fight. They kill the henchman, and they're about chasing the king. But as they go to chase the king, March, or whoever March is playing, I don't know the name of his character, turns around and goes, "Wait, hang on. Maybe this is actually good. Maybe this arranged marriage is a good idea because there will be peace between the two kingdoms." Meanwhile, Slut is. Do I actually keep calling his character Slut? Simeon. I'm gonna get used to Simeon. Simeon's like, "What are you talking about? You're getting in the way of true love, so on and so forth." And they have an impromptu fight for no particular reason. It just sort of happens. But it's a cool little set piece where you have to do like a kind of quick time mini game thing. So they have a sword fight right in front of the crowd. They stand in front, get off the stage and fight in front of the crowd. It's really cool. And it's got good music, which is better than this, but I'm still pleased with it. Yes, this taught you the PlayStation controls, exactly. It's just a quick time thing, like, March is going to do an attack, you've got to retort with either blocking or jumping or something like that. And I recommend listening to the original music, because it's like the best track on the soundtrack, so... And also, depending on how accurate you are and how fast you are with your dodging of attacks and things like that, you can impress the nobles who are watching. And how good you are at impressing the nobles will grant you money, because they'll throw money onto the stage in appreciation, I suppose. Gotta keep reminding myself he has two tails. A monkey tail and a ponytail. Well, I drew one of them in the time that it took the music to play. No, we haven't met these characters yet. Good music, yeah. Valor alla Flamenco, I believe, is the original name. And it's good. Although I was recommended, because I was looking it up to sort of work out some arrangements for mine and all that sort of stuff. And I was recommended one from Final Fantasy XIV, because Final Fantasy XIV is just full of references to other Final Fantasies. And it's this kind of slightly chiller one, where it's like just a little band playing on a beach. And it's not as good. Got a 98 of that at most. Exactly. Hang on, yeah, I can show you. Because when I was playing this to remind myself of the game, I screenshot this because I was very pleased. I impressed all of them. 100% I got. Which never happens. I was very happy. Hello, Oobs! How do? Good, recovering from a finance-induced headache. Oh, we did this track on stream. Luckily, from this angle, you can't tell that this character is wearing nothing. They just have a fun little sword fight, and it's good, and it has good music. But what this does do, as a scene, is it gives these two people a chance to run off stage dramatically after this sword fight, chasing each other. You come here, you so on and so forth. And then the play carries on. That is their cue to get inside the castle. And to begin their plan afresh. And by afresh, I mean actually start it. I don't know why I said afresh. Nobles are dogs. Nobles are dogs. Gophers. The gophers are my favourite, I think. Let's see if I can get a picture. Because I have a picture of... I have all of the concept art for this game on my computer. Because it's good! Show yourself. Where are you? Come on, don't show me up on stream. Where is the art? No, I can't find it. That's annoying. Oh, hang on. Yes! Boom! Look at them! Glorious! Look at that wonderful hair. Big moustache. Big hands. They're good, I like them. Right. Poofy sleeves! Welcome to Final Fantasy IX. Everyone has poofy sleeves. So yeah, these two run off stage, and the play carries on the stage. But Now these guys, they're in the castle. They can hatch their plan. Now, as there's a lot of things that happen now, and I can't remember what order they happen in, so I'm just going to follow them for a bit. Because there's like 3 different characters all having their own story at this point. Yeah, if they have sleeves, yeah. Yeah, drama. You try to remember the order too. A lot of stuff happens. So, even if your shirt doesn't have sleeves, you have poofy sleeves. Yeah, you've got poofy cuffs at the very least. So much back and forth. Do we just go straight to these 2 in uniform? I'm going to say we do. I don't think it's an issue if we do that. Right, so we have a bit of a sort of blackout sequence with some fighting sound effects. And we arrive to find, or we fade from black to discover a couple of almost naked people laying unconscious on the floor. They don't have poofy sleeves because they are almost naked. Gonna give them socks. Then we got to Rusty or the Queen briefly first, but you could be remembering it wrong. I feel like it makes sense. No, it does make sense for this to happen first. Because then we go to the Queen. Oh, I guess there is one scene we probably should... Oh, I know what we should be looking at. Which I probably actually should have happened at the start of the play. But we can see the Queen. The Queen is sitting here. And she's having an absolutely wonderful time, and I've got to work out how to draw her. She's like, play, fantastic. I think we also said that she needs to have a little top hat, because I don't actually remember what she's wearing on her head, and thus, little top hat. I'm also going to give her big eyebrows, or thick eyebrows. She looks a bit like Shrek here. Honestly, imagine Shrek, but wider and blue. Probably not a terrible way to internalize an image. So I'm not entirely sure she has a neck. I think she just turns into fluff. So she's very dazzled by the spectacle and the fireworks and the play, and it's all very interesting. She's holding a fan, if I recall. It's not relevant, but she is. Hello! Never been here. How are you all? Hi, Miss. You've been here. You've been here on your account. So Just Miss Art and saying hello from Just Miss Art. Miss dropped in and said, hi, yeah, we've been chatting. Just Miss Art has been chatting in chat. Could have been drawing her cuter than she is in game just because it's your art. Yeah, the art style. It's easy to do poorly drawn, but it's quite difficult to do ugly in these styles. But she's definitely meant to look sort of stereotypically quite ugly. But I will. I said this on the previous stream, and I'll say it again. I probably said it more successfully in the first stream because I've forgotten the name of the person. Yoshitaka Ramane? Is that it? Who does a lot of the sort of very early concept art for the Final Fantasy games, and quite a lot of the title art. Not a huge fan of his work, but his painting of Queen Helga, as we are naming her, is one of my favorites. I absolutely love it. Anyway, yeah, so they're on a balcony overlooking this play, and she's having a whale of a time. Absolutely loving it. Meanwhile, in a throne nearby, is the person we saw from earlier. Yes, it is indeed the princess. And she's not great. She's not even watching. Can't even be bothered to watch. Queen's also very big. Just in terms of volume. Much, much bigger than the princess. This is relevant. Probably. I mean, it might not be. I don't know if this world works, but, you know. This doesn't look at all like the princess, but it's fine. For reasons. However, we are privy to somebody else who's here in the background. Yeah, this happens at the start of the play, but whatever, for our purposes, it doesn't matter. I don't know why I drew a circle. I need to draw a square. Oh, yes. I'm drawing like this. It's Princess Zora. Her appearance can be as flexible as her name. Exactly. You have no idea how flexible her name's going to be. I will allow Butt Monkey. Thank you. Thank you, Automod. I have allowed Butt Monkey. Every day we learn a little bit about Automod. So we have a knight of some description. We're not actually introduced to him just yet.
Maybe there's another way in.
Ah, what? Hello, Dark. You're just in time for Butt Monkey. This knight's having a great time because he's like, aha, play's happening. But then he looks over at the princess and she's sad. And he's like, oh, princess is sad. That's not good. We're supposed to be having a good time. And he goes, wait, I have an idea. And he lifts up his sword and he goes swoosh, which I was about to say fires a beam of light. That's not correct. The swoosh makes the sword go through some light, which is a signal to somebody on stage to set off a load of fireworks, basically. And everybody gets excited and it's all great. And he looks over to the princess and goes, ah, I've made her happy. And then he looks and she's just as sad as she was before. And he's like, It's like that. Stellar expression. I have probably actually understated this expression. He looks like somebody's just trod on his cat or something. Run over his cat. He is distraught that this did not cheer up the princess. He wants nothing but the princess to be happy. My sword fireworks didn't work. There's also somebody over here, but we're not going to meet them yet. Pretty accurate, but also not as extreme. Exactly. Meanwhile, back at the pile of bodies. Technically a pile of bodies, there's 2 of them. Well, how many beans in a pile? Do you remember that one Final Fantasy Willem Dafoe icon? Yes. I did have that face with Willem Dafoe superimposed on it as an icon on Discord for a bit. So yes, we have a couple of knocked out people. What do they usually do for knocked out? It's like and this one's just gonna have stars. Since they have been knocked unconscious, but who have they been knocked unconscious by, you ask? Well, it's probably quite obvious. The only 2 people who just left the stage. The knight's called Will. We haven't met him yet. So yes, March and Simeon have knocked out a couple of guards and stolen their uniforms, and Simeon is currently complaining about the fact that it doesn't fit and it's all sticky and... It's not quite that big. Actually, is it Simeon complaining about that, or is it March? One of them is. They're both complaining about it, but one of them's more annoyed than the other. And Simeon, for character reasons, decides not to put the helmet on, because you've got to recognize who your main character is. Yeah, these are quite cheap-looking pieces of armor, I will say. Which is not necessarily standard for... You've got like cloth shorts and bits and bobs. Sir Defoe. Always doing RPGs. For these, you want 1 contribution to be his name being Will Defoe. You have already, yeah, you got Safe Word and Zippy, and you also have Queek. Because we discovered that we named, for some reason, the little rat boy Q Mark. And so the Q stands for Queek. Because why not? Gareth thought it's of a question mark last night. Presumably, yeah. Yeah, no, it's quick mark. Okay, it's also now around this time that we discover what the plan is for actually kidnapping the princess. Because March has a secret weapon in his trousers. Fine with Rusty being Will, or to give him his Rusty, actual in-game nickname. I always name him Rusty. So, every time I play Final Fantasy IX, he's called Rusty. There's a secret weapon in his trousers, yes. What's in his trousers? The secret weapon. He will use the secret weapon to distract the queen, and in the hubbub, they can kidnap the princess and run. I have no idea what these helmets look like. We're gonna go with that.
Is that a secret weapon in your trousers, or are you just happy to see me?
Well, they're happy to see. So the secret weapon is Oglops. Hope that cleared everything up. That is an Oglop. Oglops are little insect things that hop around and go blub blub blub. And a lot of people freaked out by them. Real weird. In fact, March also doesn't actually like them, and he has to keep them in his trousers. I'm pretty sure Slut's fine with them, so I don't really know why Slut isn't holding them. So yeah, he's just got a bunch of insects in his trousers, which he will release and cause a kerfuffle, and in the confusion, they will steal the princess. That's the plan, anyway. They're huge compared to the size of other people. They're pretty big. This is. I probably drew them slightly too small to scale, but got a little friend in his trousers. He's got like 20. Also, I've just realised this is a character who's not wearing trousers. This is the character who's not wearing anything. Where is he storing these? Don't answer that. Moving on. Maybe they stashed some in the castle, and it was only when he got this disguise that he put them in the trousers. There's our excuse. It's fine. He has shorts. I'm sure he doesn't. I mean, he does in this outfit, but before, and had to do the sword fight. Don't ask. He's having a horrible time. March could be having a better day. Anyway. Having stolen the disguise, they run through the castle and they do sneaky things. They don't actually have to do sneaky things, they just walk out the room and boom. Things happen. Also, that track was new. Final Fantasy 9. Everyone's having one very bad day. Yes. Oglops in the pants. Worst version of Ants in the pants, yeah. So as they're going through, trying to find the princess, a berobed figure wearing a big old, very comfy looking hood comes out. It's supposed to be a homage to the white mages in Final Fantasy 1. Again, a lot of things in this game that's like, hey, do you remember that thing? I mean, Vivi is just straight up black mage. Except Vivi. What's Vivi called now? Vivi. Parentheses, baby, close parentheses, BB. Vivi, not BB. BB Vivi. Yeah, Vivi is also having a bad day. Vivi has fallen over, discovered that their ticket is counterfeit, gotten roped into breaking into a castle, had their money stolen in an alleyway. It's not going great. They did, however, meet a Moogle called Muffin, so... Keep kicking him when he's down. Well, if it's any consolation, it's not going to get any better anytime soon. Yeah, so they're trying to find the princess, and they stumble upon... somebody running through with a robe, and Slut's natural instincts kick in when seeing somebody with whom he is unfamiliar, and he starts flirting with them.
Oddly enough, Cresp, that's not any consolation.
They're not. Oh. So yeah, he just starts saying things like, "Oh, hey, gorgeous, where you going? Where have you been all my life? You know, I think we were destined to meet in this hallway, randomly." Etc, etc. This is when we get our first taste of why you've decided to call this character Slut. Yep, exactly. Picked a very accurate name. Literally on a mission to kidnap a princess, gets distracted and starts flirting with somebody. The person, however, doesn't seem to want to hang around, and after a little bit of excuse me, I need to get through, just bursts past them. Trying to pick up chicks on ice. Still, yeah. Definitely the sluttiest Final Fantasy protagonist you can think of at the moment. Irvine pretends to be, doesn't he? He's not really, though. This is literally to pick up a chick. And indeed, he had the right instinct. Because as she's rushing past, Slut goes, hang on, bloody hell, that's the princess, and then goes chasing after her. And then the chase begins. However, we are not privy to this.
Animate it.
And I'm not gonna what? Not gonna animate a chase. It's animated in game. We'll see some bits of it, but we're gonna cut to a different scene, and by different scene I mean this scene again. Only the princess isn't here because she's just run past Slut. So. I'm going to leave that. It's here we're introduced to a few new characters. Need to articulate it. Animate it. Last time somebody asked Hazel to say something, she just spelt it out rather than saying it. Hey, for RPGs, have a good Arpagos. Scooby-Doo shenanigans, absolutely. That too. Animate it. Yes, so someone realizes that your new favorite thing. Someone realizes that the Queen's run away. The Queen, not the Queen's run away. Queen's still here. She's having a great time. I'm not sure how to sort of demonstrate how she's sitting on this chair. I don't know. Anyway, point being, it is observed that the princess is not there, and they don't know where she is. And it is observed by a couple of cheeky little friends who first ask permission to see the Queen. They ask it first from this guy, and he says no because the Queen's having fun watching her play. So instead, they go to his counterpart over here. Do I now need to work out how to draw? I have no idea what our armor is. Sorry, I've not done the hair justice. It does just sort of keep. Yes, so she needs a name. She's a stalwart knight who seems to have much more respect than than this fellow. Although I guess she doesn't get a name yet, but she gets a name at the same time as that fellow. She also has a cooler sword. She looks much more like she had money spent on her armor. He didn't. Unfortunately, I can't draw armor, so. Despite the amount of Dark Souls things I've done, still no idea how armor works. Not a specific name for her. All you can think of is 2 words that are in her character theme. Fair enough. Does she have an exposed midriff? Don't know. You're asking the wrong person. To be fair, there's probably something I should probably illustrate, or well, not illustrate. Something that I should probably point out at this point is that the Alexandrian army comes in 2 components. There are the ones we're going to see in a moment, who are male, and there are the rest of the army, who are female. And the rest of the army, who are female, are wearing quite revealing armor. Give her actual armor that will protect. Yeah, I'm gonna. She's got proper armor. I'll give them proper armor. Looked up her character art. No exposed midriff, but yes, long legs. Long legs. Nice. The only character in the game with long legs, with the possible exception of Amaranth. Also, have you ever, speaking of Yoshitaka Amano's stuff, Kiro, have you ever seen the concept art for Amaranth? It looks less weird. That's the only time I've ever seen a character drawn by Yoshitaka Amano look less weird than they actually turned out. Very strange. Yeah, they don't have proper leg armor. Yeah, they're just they're going for the whole march look, but with armor, armored march. That never happens. Women are always in very practical armor. Female knights have no armor on their legs. No armor on their legs. Big chest plates. If you catch midriff. If you catch midriff. Oh, that got me. Can I put that on my list of jokes? I've been trying to make like 5 jokes a day this month, and I want to put that on my list. Because that's so stupid. Lady Knights are considered the more competent. Oh, yeah. So the illustration that will become apparent is that the female knights are the ones that are respected and competent, and the male knights are idiots. This is absolutely not reflected in these 2 characters, I can guarantee. Also, she's got like a metal plate over her face. It's like an eye patch, but it's just a big metal plate. She's cool! I'm just going to move this out of the way for the purposes of illustration, because I have things to illustrate. Specifically, 2 tiny jesters. We should play their music now.
Bangin' tune.
So they're running through the castle going, oh my god, the princess is gone! God oh my! Gone is the princess. They have a habit of repeating each other, but one of them says the sentences the wrong way around. I can never remember which one's which as well. I actually don't know what's going on with their costumes below the waist, so I'm gonna go pointy shoes. Puffy trousers and pointy shoes. Classic. It's a disaster it is. The princess is gone, gone is the princess. Etc, etc. Very much those two children from Animal Crossing, Timmy and Tommy. I hope not. Played this game several times, you have no idea which is which. Yeah, exactly. They have similar names, and it's probably, well, they move when they speak. So you should be able to work out from text prompts who's who, but good luck. So what are we calling them? Kiro says frickin' frack. Seems perfectly reasonable. They have a similar sort of naming scheme in the game. Also, one is red and white stripes and one of them's blue and white. Oh, my chat disconnected. Luckily, my bot is still telling me things. But yeah, these two are never apart, so doesn't really matter. Timmy Thomas' sweetest little cinnamon buns. We not hear a bad word about them. Yeah, the point is that they're interchangeable, basically. Yeah. Same species as Fame and Fortune. Yeah, I was kind of thinking of these when they cropped up. Although Fame and Fortune actually have distinct appearances and identities. Like frickin' frack. Frickin' frack's good. We can go frickin' frack. Hooray for bot. Yeah, the last thing I see in actual Twitch chat is Kiro saying that they have no idea which is which. So, luckily my bot's here to save the day. So these are frickin' frack. Oh, no, it's just caught up and has shown me all of the last chat messages. Come on, Twitch. People are already leaving you because of your ad things that you just came out with. Frickin' frack. So frickin' frack burst in and go, oh my god, the princess is gone. Gone is the princess, god oh my. And this guy over here is like, don't disturb the queen, she's busy. Meanwhile, this person is like, I'll go and inform the queen and see if she wants to speak with you. Jester's theme's also good. Jester's theme, funnily enough, these guys, their actual theme in the soundtrack was the first thing I tried to learn on the piano. Just so you know. And to this day, most of the things that I know how to play on the piano are either from Final Fantasy or Madness. That's it, that's all I've got. It's a good song, yeah, it's cool. So Knight Lady goes up to the Queen and says, excuse me, Queen, I have the information that the princess might be missing. She's like, oh, for God's sake, I'm watching a play. Fine. Okay, you two, come here. And ushers the knights closer. This is when we learn their names. She knows her name. Obviously, she's well respected and important, but has completely forgotten this guy's name. So what are they called? Again, just to reinforce the hierarchy of respect. Also, this is my replacement forest music, but we're not there yet. Soon. Names, Jessie and James. Which one's Jessie? To be fair, not an extraordinarily dissimilar dynamic. Dark One's Will Dafoe for Rusty. Not Jessie, why not? It's never stopped you before. Jessie and James? We're going Jessie and James. Welcome back, Jessie. Is this Jessie? You should ask to specify. Jessie is at this point a genderless name. Because everyone's Jessie. Yeah, so this is what happened to Jessie after Final Fantasy VII. You know, she had an eye injury from the whole Sector 7 thing, but other than that, fine. She worked her way up to become leader of the Alexandrian army. She could be Jessie. Cool. Does she have a title? Commander? Is it Commander Jessie? I think she's Commander. We have ourselves a Jessie. It's a Drawthrough. And meanwhile, we have James. Any additions to James, or will they just come along as they happen? As Will as a nickname or something. James, or Will for short. Queen forgot his name, right, so just calls him Will. Yeah, exactly. His name's actually James, but the Queen just refers to him as Will. My name's James. Okay, Will. She's a general. Ah, not a commander. And then James Will, just some guy, Defoe. The problem with calling a general Jessie is that's, you know, general means, you know, abstractly vague, and she's very specific. There are plenty of characters who we could have called General Jessie. So I thought J, that's the title. There we are. Fits with the naming convention. Cool. So yeah, the Queen ushers them over and says, "Right, you two, go find the princess. Get her back here. I'm trying to enjoy the play." And so James Will, some guy, goes off to find the princess, and he does so with the aid of his loyal supporters. Not supporters, with the aid of the what are they called? Loyal knights, for he commands a top battalion of knights. And they are called the Knights of Pluto. Oh yes, they are. And he stands up on a balcony and says, "Knights of Pluto, assemble!" His helmet is going to give me conniptions. It's made of metal. It is armor, but it sort of looks like a floppy hat. It's weird. And you have Jenny Eric from the FFIX Drawthrough. because she was a generic anime girl. Yeah. Good old Jenny. Jenny Eric. Yeah, whose actual name is Selfie. Bizarrely. By the way, we're gonna need a lot of names in a second. Just so you know. Because we are assembling the Knights of Pluto here. Selfie stick. Is he just also wearing shorts? I'm gonna say yes. It's the Drawthrough. What's the badum? Did Miss say anything? But it got kicked out of the Union for the Knights Guild for not being big enough group to be recognised as a guild. Honestly, it fits them well. In fact, have a vote. Except Kiro. How many assemble? Three? 3.5? Well, you were close. Two, both of them lacking armor. Ragdoll knows exactly what's happening. That's not a knight, that's a scout boy. It's Jimmy from across the street. No, it's somebody who was recently knocked out and had their armor stolen. So these are two of the Knights of Pluto, not all of them, although they arrive and go, already present and accounted for. Meanwhile, already forgotten your name, which is great. Will, not Will, someone else. James. Who am I, the Queen? James, yes, cool. Yeah, James is like, what the hell are you talking about? There's supposed to be 9 of you. Well, 8, and then me. That's 9. Where the hell have you all gone? I'm gonna go and find you all. And then he runs around the castle and finds them all. Right. So I'm gonna need you to name them all. This is important. In order to facilitate this, I have a description of each of them, which I would have forgotten, so I've written it down. Let's see if I can remember where I wrote it down. I wrote it down somewhere. Thank you, Cheap. That's a good one. I like that one. Where did I write this down? I may have written it down somewhere and then lost it. Sounds about right. Okay. In that case, we'll work things out. Legitimately can't remember their names. This is the point. This is the reason I'm asking you to name them. It's very there are 8 of them. 9 including James. Okay, well I did make notes, but they've vanished. So... yeah, 8 aside from James, 9 total. So there are... You run through the castle, basically, and you can see a bunch of them. There are... the 2 who lost their armor. They are known, I believe, as real gossipers. If you go into the room where they're putting their armor on, they're just standing around talking, like chatting about, like, oh, he did that? She oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that was... So they're just basically gossiping amongst themselves. So you have the 2 gossipers. I'm trying to do this from memory. They're the sailor soldiers. Sailor Pluto. You can name them after the planets if you want. Be a bit weird. The Knights of Pluto. Well, I guess... Is that another one of Will's names? No, another one of James's names. Bloody hell. Hugh Pugh, Barney McGrew, Cuthbert Dibble Grub. That's 7, right? Oh, Barney McGrew's 1 name, so that's 6. Moon, Jupiter, Mercury. Could do. They're the Knights of Pluto. It's up to you. I don't name these things. So you got these 2, who are the gossips. And the only ones to have distinct physical appearances. Because they're the only ones you see out of armor. Pluto has 5 moons. That could be 5 names covered. Nice. I don't know any of Pluto's moons, do I? Ganymede? No, that's Jupiter. Sharon, Hydra, Kerberos, Nyx, and Styx. They are way too cool names for these characters. I'm leaning more towards the Hugh Pugh Barney McGrew side. These characters do not deserve names like Hydra and Styx. Then again, the name Styx has been rather sort of tainted slightly by Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto, Domo. Right, there's those 2. The next one you encounter is just absolutely blitzing it around a corridor. Just running faster than you can. It's very difficult to catch them. And they are known as a champion of the cannonball race, if I remember correctly, which I looked up in the lore somewhere. I thought it was just like the name of a race, like the kind of... isn't there like a car race called the Cannonball? Isn't that a thing? Turns out it's literally just a race carrying cannonballs. So, that's the thing. Looked up the wiki entries if you need a reminder on characteristics. I'll see how far I can go, but if there's anything important that I miss, do let me know. I think should be able to get the gist of it. Maybe we'll find out. Actually, is this the cannonball race one? For the purposes of this example, this will be the cannonball race one. It makes sense, they're the one that's running. I don't think they actually are the cannonball one, because I remember playing and going, hang on, why aren't they the cannonball race one? Running around in the shorts. Too busy running to realise that anything is actually happening. Yeah, I've got to run. Cannonball Clark, that's the name. You gonna go with that? I'll put it there for now. We have somebody standing by a dining table. Looking at the food going, oh, I'm very hungry. Turns out that they're an artilleryman. There's a big old banquet being prepared. What am I missing with the helmets? There's something about the helmets that's distinctive to me, and I've forgotten what it is. That says Colonel Mustard. Right. General Mustard. Colonel, yeah, Colonel Mustard. What was it in mine? Oh yeah, it was the little guy one. Eats bits. Not a fool, you dingbat. You're a dingbat. I'm drawing them very dramatically for some reason. Woe is me. This isn't the dramatic one. We'll meet them next. Actually, there's a couple that are dramatic. Did you let me know if I got something wrong? Maybe. I mean, all I really need is the piece of information about the character that is helpful. So long as I get them all, it doesn't really matter where they are. Also, if you can tell me what their helmets look like. Sure, there's like a front bit. I don't know. We'll work it out. Yeah, so Colonel Mustard. Cannibal one's the hungry one. Yeah. Yes, and the other one's the artillery. Yeah, the one that's running is the artillery one. This is the cannonball one. So we can swap those around. Well, it doesn't matter. Does it? I guess it does. For the purposes of this, I'm gonna say this is the one who does the cannonball race. So long as we match a name to a fact, we're good. And this is Colonel Mustard, who is an artilleryman. We still haven't named the gossips yet. That was look right enough, especially with that one flaring out a bit at the bottom like that. Cool, we'll work it out. First one's name is Sock. Sock. And then there's another one. Who's the next one you meet? They're in the library. Wistfully reading about fantasy stories. Did you come along? You're in control of James at this point, to specify. This is now the third character that you've been in control of. And they go, "Oh, Captain, you've caught me. Wistfully reading some fantasy stories. While you're here, might I possibly ask for some leave? Because I have a novel in me and I want to get it out." And James says, "The princess is missing. Now's not the time." And this character's response to that is to run away crying. Also, this book is important. We'll come back to it later. Socken Nibbins. Nibbins is a good name. Go back and talk to this guy after you found him. He's hiding between some bookcases. Oh no. No, poor friend. They just want to be an author. But as you can tell, very professional lot. Yes, we've got the book one. We have one who's very calmly sitting by the water, by the canal, just outside the castle grounds, watching some ducks go by, being very calm. And then you come along and say, "By the way, princess is missing." And they get up and go, "Bloody hell!" and start running off and screaming. I can't remember their fact, apart from the fact that they have some... here we go. Appropriate music. This is the author. He's a navigator. Oh yeah, because he starts running around the place going, "I know where everything is. I will find the princess." This piece of music might as well be their theme tune, by the way. Beatrix? You're going to name this character Beatrix? I'm happy to name this character Beatrix. Just know that that's a good choice. Why not? Kiro knows why not. They got a bit of a demotion. Your idea is Bears, you just typed it? Oh, now Bear's typing in your thing. Yeah, so Beatrix is the name of the character that we call Jessie. So... took a bit of a step down in the old promotional stakes. Jessie's name is Beatrix. In the game, yes. But they're Jessie here, so... Still annoying me that he's not. Okay. But no, this is Beatrix now. Don't worry about it. It's not gonna be confusing for me at all. No, not at all. Okay, so we now have a navigator who's watching some ducks go by in a canal, very calmly. I believe if you catch them while they're running around, they're just screaming the word fury. Who else is there? There's... Oh yes, there's one of them's chatting up one of the female soldiers. Second flirt event in the game. Quaxley. That's a good name. I like Quaxley. Ben. This one is also one of the bosses too, with James and Quaxley. My brain has stopped working because of the way we've named things. James. Okay, James. No, yes. James is, yes, Will. Yes. Cool. Yeah. You do fight them in a bit. Spoilers. To be fair, this character doesn't come off as like Bin Boy. Comes off more as like a kid who's just really bad at talking to people. But apparently he does know all of the girls in the neighborhood. I'm gonna give him a little sort of crappy moustache. As if to say, hey, I hit puberty like 3 weeks ago. Yeah, he knows all the girls. It's probably at this point you're going to start asking, why am I telling you this? And the answer to that will come in a while. James, the one who's sitting by the pond, and this one. Okay, so you get to fight the flirt. Anyway, the soldier. I've just realised they have tiny little round shields. Roundly dismisses. How are we going to draw the armor of these people? We're going to go like real good. Bin? We're going to go bin? Bin. I thought you were just saying bin as in like get in the bin, but I guess... Yeah, I'm going to give him like proper armor. These are the actual soldiers, right? The Knights of Pluto are just idiots. These are the ones who are actually doing the soldiering, so they've got to have proper armor. If I'd had foresight, I would have drawn the Knights of Pluto wearing their armor. But that also would have meant that I'd have to draw Slut wearing it, which honestly would fit. And March isn't wearing anything anyway, so... missed opportunities. Yes, and there's an exercising knight who's the last one, so this is the Knows the girls. Retcon it off stream. I mean, if you want me to draw slut wearing the skimpy female armor, I will, but it's entirely possible someone's done it already. Yes, and then there's somebody, as you go up the tower, in the last place you check in the castle, there's somebody who's climbing up the stairs, doing some stair aerobics. They're quite old, apparently. They're getting a bit unfit. And I'm like, oh, gotta help get back into shape. Meanwhile, while all this is happening, James is having a time. He's just like, what are you all doing? We need to look for the princess. Get back on duty. She's missing. Very tense. Remember why this is important now? Yeah. This information will be important, and I will make sure it's important. I will not remind anyone of anything. This is how people walk, right? This is a... reasonable shapes for a human being to be, right? Exercise. What if you want specifically the Knights of Pluto wearing the skimpy female armor? I don't think the Knights of Pluto all have distinct appearances. I could try. Rocky? Which one's Rocky? Oh, the running. Oh, yes, there's one. Makes sense. That's good. Da-da-da, da-da-da. Hope someone's already done that. I mean, at the risk of, you know, putting my foot in it, Patreon doodles are a thing. Right, one more. I was about to ask. Is running up a spiral staircase, up a tower. That's an efficient background, then. It does look a little bit like a wonky smile. Oh. How many Patreon doodles do you have? Oh, probably like 10. There was a long period where nobody asked for any, because I kept forgetting to remind people. How many Knights of Pluto and skimpy female armor can you ask for in one doodle? I can draw them all and then see how long it takes. You get an hour. An hour per doodle. Anyway, sorry, yes, one more to name. Knows the girls. Good, do that. And we at least know what these two look like. All I remember from my playthrough is one of them has a mohawk and one of them has a bowl cut. I think the one with the mohawk has a big nose. Yeah, so what's the flirty one? Do they have a name? Oh, Bin, yes, of course. Sorry, forgot. Cool, okay, we have Sock and Nibbins, the Gossipers. We've got Cannonball Clark, winner of the Cannonball race. Colonel Mustard, who's a hungry artilleryman. We have Beatrix, the author, or Beatrix. Is it Beatrix or Beatrix? I don't know. Quaxley, the navigator, who is fond of looking at the ducks and calming themselves down from their usual absolutely furious mood. Bin, the chatupperer. I'm gonna go with chatupperer. And Rocky, the exercise. Boom. They are the 8 Knights of Pluto, not including James/Will, who forms the captain of the Knights of Pluto. Is he involved in the skimpy female armor, should I ask? Anyway, that's them. I'm now not going to mention them for a very long time. Oops. Oh, drawing these flags is reminding me of 80-day doodle. 80-daydle. Depends how long the other 8 nights take. Want to say he gets Jessie's armor? That makes sense. Left a bit too much empty space here, so I'm going to do that. Still too much. Not going to be at this part of the story for a while. James, Will, in General Jessie's armor, and the other 8 Knights of Pluto in skimpy female armor. Are you writing this down? I can remember it, it's fine. Are you writing down all of those characters? Okay, so... James arrives at the top of a tower in search of the princess. He was blocked going one way because of another Knight of Pluto, who's not on the list, suspiciously, who said, "Oh, there's nothing here, no one's come through here." But he gets to the top of the tower and he's running around. He's like, "Oh, where is she? Where is she? Where is she? Must find the princess. Must find her." And he looks across and goes, "There she is." Oh, by the way, if you're wondering why I'm giving him eyelashes, it's because I guess he might have strong eyelashes, but he's wearing quite a lot of eyeliner. And with these eyes, I can't really do eyeliner, so I'm doing eyelashes instead. Sock, Nibbins, Cannonball Clark, Colonel Mustard, Beatrix, Quaxley, Bin, and Rocky. There we go. Honestly, giving them the names you're giving them is probably beneficial. That's as much as I'm going to say on the matter. He does have eyelashes in the game, or eyeliner, yeah. It's got very strong makeup game. And what we see, initially what we see is basically Simeon chasing the berobed princess around this tower. Going, "Hey, wait up, where are you going?" He's still wearing the armor from before, because it'd be a bit weird in the middle of a chase to take your clothes off. Then again, this is Slut we're talking about. Write it down in Discord so I can remember. Thank you. Yeah, one of them's called Beatrix now. It was bound to happen at some point that we would name a character after an actual name in the game. Also, so soon after meeting that character as well. That's the fun part. So she just climbs up on top of this castle with or this tower with a smile on her face, wind blowing her hair around. Hands behind her back. She then proceeds.
Do a flip.
Just kind of. Yeah, she then proceeds to just fall backwards and fall off the tower. We indeed. It's at this point that the protagonist runs up, or Simon, that's not Simon, Simeon. Simeon runs up to the edge and is like, oh god. And indeed, so does James. And a fun little detail, I always love this in this cutscene, is that when he like runs up, he just like slams himself against the side of the wall, and because of his armor, just sparks fly when he does that. Which is just a lovely little detail. This guy's flapping around. He's like, oh my god, the princess! What is she doing? Turns out, reason she had her hands behind her back. Because she's got hold of some of the bunting. Is now swinging away. Presumably having quite a fun time. Almost certainly wasn't on her plan, but I guess she's got good upper body strength. Action princess, exactly. Yeah, she got a huge smile. She's enjoying this. Yeah, this part's like a fully 3D animated cutscene. Good time. So Simeon follows. He also gets on a bit of bunting, as indeed does James. We'll get these names. And I won't draw the entire scene. Basically, Simeon follows the princess, swings over to like the top of the. Over here we have like the top of the theater ship, and there's some like. Speaking of theater ship, what's it called? Canopy? What are they called? It's a cloth that hang over windows. Not curtains, they hang horizontally almost over windows. Is it canopy? No, not curtain. Horizontally. I know my explanation was poor. Chicken. This is a human. Tent? No. I'm going with canopy. Yeah, so they land on a canopy and it's all safe and grand. Meanwhile, Meanwhile, James... Not gonna undo that drawing. Gets his own bunting, wraps it around himself, and does a big old Superman sort of thing. Flying gracefully through the air. To grab the princess! Ah! No. Him so graceful. He is beauty, he is grace. He hit the tower with his face. So yeah, he just straight up goes through the wall. Like, he breaks a castle wall with his face. What kind of Looney Tunes nonsense is this game intro? Welcome to Final Fantasy IX. Some slapstick going on, particularly with this character. Strong face. He's got a strong face. So yeah, he smashes into a wall. Meanwhile, the other two, they go off. They continue the chase. They're now on the theater ship. And we fall from the canopy onto the band while they're playing, and the music goes while they're playing. It's quite fun. And then we run into a changing room for one of the performers, who we haven't met yet. And I'm gonna have to work out how to draw. How do I... I don't know. But anyway, this is the performer who's playing the princess in the play. And she speaks with a sort of southern drawl, kind of Texan accent, as far as I can tell from the text. This game doesn't have voice acting, but very clearly she's supposed to have some sort of, in my mind, strong Texan accent. Southern American. I've drawn her quite fierce here, that's not quite... Well, I guess she's kind of fierce, but in a sort of like... Basically, someone bursts into a dressing room. She's like, what in tarnation's going on here? I'm getting ready for the play, what are you doing? Sometimes there are accents in the text. Sorry to miss in advance. I believe I've already shared with Miss. When I played through it, probably a couple of years ago, I shared with Miss. Hey, look at this! This is just in the game. I can see her in my head, and it's not. It doesn't particularly matter. She's also holding a fan, I believe, and that's part of the costume. This has gone for a bathroom break. Great. We can now talk about the Rally Ho people. Nah, it's fine. I've already shared bits. Do we name her? Yes. She doesn't have a lot to do in the story, but she's a character. I mean, we just named all of the Knights of Pluto. There's no excuse not to name this character. Looking a little bit Hunger Games here. It's not the intention. We're supposed to have this sort of like fancy, sort of. I want to say high-end Victorian prostitute. Know what I mean? Bernadette? What's the name? I told you we were talking slanderous things about you. No, not at all. I really wanted to draw this background character for some reason. I mean, again, I draw all the Knights of Pluto. Again, we're not going to see those again for a while. Anyway, Princess comes in here, smashes in, and Bernadette? We're going with Bernadette? Knights of Pluto are very important. These aren't the characters you're going to get attached to, are they? The princess is like, I'm sorry, I just want to get through. Can I just get through, please? Thank you. Use your right to remain silent. Yeah, they're saying there are some pretty thick accents in the game, and there is a point later on in the game. I've already shared you screenshots back when I played it a couple of years ago, with some strong Scots influence. But it's going to be a while before we get there, so I can practice my accents. In fact, actually, teach me some Gaelic. We'll stick it in there. Anyway, yeah, so Princess runs in and goes, oh, I'm sorry, can I come through? She's like, not before you apologize for bursting into a lady's dressing room, and just when she's about to go on stage for her big entrance. First time I've done this in the Drawthrough. Do you remember I did this a lot in Final Fantasy VIII, didn't I? Just have a head poking out. And Simeon sort of pokes in and goes, hey, don't worry about it, Bernadette. It's fine. I'll sort this out. She's like, don't worry about it? What do you mean, don't worry about it? My makeup is ruined. It's spoiled my concentration. I'm not about to go on stage. And while this is all happening, she's sort of like accosting Simeon. Meanwhile, the princess runs away. Princess is just like, yeah, I'm gonna go. Mendes like, how dare you speak to me like that? I'm going on stage. So that hangs things up a bit. Anyway, we've met Bernadette. Expect me to bust out my best Gaelic. Yeah, no, I'm gonna do that entire section in Gaelic, including the wedding. Weddings? I guess that's up to you guys. There's an element of choice in this draw through. The choices aren't particularly relevant, but they are things that happen. So yeah, we get into the middle of the theatre ship. Back right at the start of the game where we got the candle. There's a little table in the middle, remember? We're back here. And the princess stops. And Simeon's like, oh, bloody hell, finally. Well, this wasn't the plan, but we got her on the ship. That's something. Didn't need the old globs anyway. And the princess takes off her hood and goes, well, you've probably worked out by now I'm the princess. I was like, yeah, I had gathered. Yeah, and she stops and we have a little conversation about, yeah, I'm the princess. Believe it or not, I'm the princess. He's like, yeah, I kind of worked that bit out. She says, can you do me a favor? I really, really want a favor of you. And Simeon's like, sure, if you'll stay on the ship, why not? And she goes, could you please kidnap me? Really, really want you to kidnap me. Is that okay? Oh, no, he's wearing the soldier's uniform. I really need to get out of this place. Take me to Lindblom. Just by any means necessary. Can you do that for me? And Simeon's like, well, we'll try. I guess. Anything for you, princess. He's also floating slightly, don't worry about it. Floats are magic in this game. Tail! Keep forgetting the tail. Tail and ponytail. Why? Reasons! She clearly wasn't happy at the start of this game. So she really wants to get away. But why was she asked to be kidnapped? Questions. Intrigue. Plot. The thought plickens. It does look like I've drawn him with cat ears here, doesn't it? Turns out it wasn't a monkey tail, it was a cat tail. We'll get to that, exactly. Do we need a we'll get to that emote? Maybe. Allow thought. Crispy draw through. We'll get to that. Look, these take a while. And games and stories tend to set themselves up, or set things up for later. And you guys are quite clever at spotting things that are important. So, I say it a lot. If you guys would just be more stupid, it would make my job way easier. So yeah, she's like, kidnap me. And Simeon's, sure, I promise to kidnap you. I'm just but a humble actor. I would never have considered this without you asking me, but we will do as you command, Your Highness. Because he's an actor and he's very good at pretending. Speaking of emotes, would you mind sending you the parkour emote so you can edit to your BTTV emote section? Totally okay, if not, just thought of us. I made it for you! I made it for you, Chippy. Of course I'll send it to you. Also, if you want any more, let me know. Also, I can open up my BTTV emotes if you want to... Because you can have emotes from other channels as well if you want any of those, I don't know. Don't assume. That's fair. That is a reasonable thing to do. But at the same time... How dare you? No. He's an actor, not necessarily a good one. He may not necessarily have gotten into acting for the purposes of wanting to be an actor. Also, I always assumed at the beginning of this game that this isn't actually an acting troupe. They're like a group of criminals. And the reason I thought that is because everyone... When you do that initial fight with March, Alexander the and Banana Man, and Simeon, everyone knows how to steal. So I just kind of assumed they were all, this is just a group of thieves. But apparently all actors are thieves? I guess, I don't know. Everyone knows how to steal. All actors can steal. They're very good at being rogues. Who knows? Who knew? But no, they are actually an acting troupe, and I didn't realise that when I used to play the game. I thought the acting troupe was a cover for the actual thing that they are doing, which is being thieves. True, yeah, Miss knows. Miss has experience in the industry. But yeah, it is actually a theatre group, so... Right, what happens now? Now, a Knight of Pluto runs in. No, hang on, is that right? No, not quite. The Knight of Pluto bangs on the door. No. No, sorry. This door. There are two doors to this room. And something else happens. I imagine you should have a bigger mouth. Yeah. There we go. Still don't know if he's wearing a pot on his head. First thing you learned in uni, yeah, exactly. It's Alexander the Alexander the is here. Does Alexander the do any acting? Is he just a chef? He might not actually be an actor. But he can steal, so chefs are also thieves. Also, I didn't draw the chefs in this place, which is not that important. I'm going to draw one over here just for fun. Because I like their design. Can't remember exactly what's going on. They're quite small. I think maybe they're probably wearing big old puffy trousers as usual. I'm like, I am a chef. I have spatula. And they got the big hats, but like the hats over their face. I was going to draw one of these by the Knight of Pluto who was standing by food. That's the Swedish chef. I just like their design. It's kind of fun. These are never important in the game. There's also another chef, but we'll draw their race later. These are just the assistant chefs. Actors are actors, but they're also thieves, but also one of them is a chef, yes. This is not to scale. We're out of music. Go again. By the way, when I'm finished with making music for this, which I should probably finish, I actually made a list of all the tracks that I would kind of like to make at some point, and I ended up with like 3 times as many as I've actually finished, so I probably should stop myself before I go too deep. But when I'm done with this, I'll make available to patrons all of the tracks that I've done, but I'll also make like a little free album of the ones that are actually, decently original. And I'll do some art for all of the tracks, and we'll do those on stream. I think that'll be fun. Because some of the tracks actually turned out to be quite good and, good in their own right. They weren't just copies of the stuff in the soundtrack, so I was quite pleased with that. Anyway, Alexander the First is here. Yeah, patrons will get everything, because why not? Got gloves now. So yeah, Alexander the First bursts in, and the princess is like, "Oh God!" And Simeon goes, "Don't worry, he's with us. He looks a bit scary, but he's actually good. You might smell a bit." I was like, "How dare you? I have you know I bath regularly." I'm pretty sure that's a line in the game. Can't remember the exact circumstances, but it is confirmed that this character has a bath. Level good music you make, which is all the music you make. Question. I do make bad music, especially when I'm trying to make this much music this quickly. It just happens. It's like I was saying at the beginning of the stream that I'm doing a thing. I've been watching a lot of Tim Vine, which means that I've been wanting to write bad jokes. So I just said, okay, let's just write like 5 jokes a day, see what happens. And I always try and make the first joke just really bad. And then that way you just get over the hurdle of worrying about whether or not you're making something good. Does look, this is supposed to be like a kind of short vest, but it does look like he's wearing like a sports bra. Why do all the draw-throughs I do end up with somebody wearing a sports bra? This keeps happening. I don't think there was one in BioShock, but definitely in Metal Gear Solid and Final Fantasy VIII. Inclusivity, question mark? Anyways, a Muppet in a sports bra. Bet you didn't think you'd see that today. It's Pride Month. We can have this. Look, we can have the Knights of Pluto. It's fine. Anyway, so yeah, he's there. All's good. But then there's boom, bang at the door. Boom, boom, boom. This door. It's Simon. No, not Simon. The what? James. Will. Rusty, whatever his name is. He's banging us. Where's the princess? James, yes, thank you. Oh, I forgot this. I forgot this experience. It happens every draw through. Sometimes you have to control the tits in the kitchen. Exactly. It's to stop, like, you have a hairnet to stop your hair getting in the food. That's to stop chest hair getting in the food. Makes sense. That's a chest hairnet. What that is. Aren't you happy? So yeah, and Alexander's like, come in here, I've got an idea. I should specify, I'm doing this draw through much slower than the game is actually played. We will speed up once we get past the first section of the game. This first section is almost entirely cutscene. It's broken up with a few random boss fights, but it's almost entirely cutscene. Once we get out of the first area, things will speed up. Anyway, we return to the room where we had the briefing at the beginning, and it turns out there's a secret escape hatch in the floor. And one by one, they jump through it. Alexander the First jumps through, and the princess jumps in, and then Simeon. Yeah, this all takes place over the course of a few minutes. It's like an hour's worth of gameplay, but yeah, things will speed up, hopefully. I won't be quite so detail oriented as we go. So yeah, they all jump down, and they jump down into the sort of engine room area. But eventually, the knights make their way in, and for some reason, after jumping through the escape hatch, they decided to leave it open for some reason. I would have closed it behind me, but there we are. So James bursts in and is like, quickly, we gotta go down there! And one of the Knights of Pluto's with him. I'm gonna learn how to draw this hat. Helmet. Stoic and James, the two characters you can accurately draw just by drawing a square. What's the point of a secret escape hatch if you're going to leave it open? I know, exactly. Very silly. Isn't understandable. They throw a lot of info at you, yeah. There are a lot of dense cutscenes later on in the game, but I probably don't have to draw most of it, because we're going to know all the characters and what they're doing and all that sort of stuff. So it's not, things will accelerate, but at the beginning, it's just a lot going on. Also, this is my version of the main overworld music, and it's going to be a while before we get there. Couple more streams, probably. Proportions here are all messed up. They're all messed up. My arm is not coming out of where arms come out of. Which knight? Knight? That was funny. But which knight? What? Which? What? Who? Something funny was said and I missed it because I'm forgetful. This escape hatch is a little too big for for the purposes of what's about to happen. Anyway, yes, he goes, get in! Oh, he said one of the Knights of Pluto was with him, so he asked which one. We will discover that. So the knight jumps in. It jumps in sideways. He's like, oh god, no, I'm stuck. No! Help! How do arms work? So James is just like, oh, for God's sake. Fine, I'll go the other way around. I'll find another way of getting down there. Meanwhile, Knight's just like, oh, struggle. However. You look a little closely. Yeah, smart! She's still in disguise. Remember when I said that James was stopped from going up a tower by one of the Knights of Pluto? Turns out it wasn't one of the Knights of Pluto. He's an actor, remember? These bloody helmets. Whatever. I just know the only one you actually believe is an actor. Probably the only one who's actually successfully convinced anybody of anything. So yeah. Then again, we are talking about James here, who's probably not difficult to convince of anything. Also, I'm not quite conveying precisely how rectangular this character is. That's better. Sure, it's very easy to con the Knights of Pluto, but still, it is. Yeah, there's only 8 of them, and James still can't remember what they look like exactly. So on the one hand, boo, it turns out they're not, turns out a Knight of Pluto didn't actually get stuck in the hole, they're not that stupid, but it turns out actually, no, they are stupid because everyone thought that was a Knight of Pluto, so. They're stupid in a different way, hooray! Is that a good place to stop? We can go to a little confrontation. Okay, so fully believe they would be that stupid. Probably, yeah, it probably would be, to be fair. They just happen not to be here to try it out. I mean, in all fairness, James was fully happy to believe that happened. At no point did he go, hang on, This is suspicious. No one's that stupid. He went, ah, fine, anyway. So, yeah. Well, that's what these poles are. Just realised. Kind of. Not really. Are they? I don't know. Well, they're used here anyway. Yeah, James fully believed it. That either says something about James or the Knights or both. Most likely both. Correct, you're getting the hang of it. Anyway, so running through the underbelly of the ship a little bit. You run past the engine room and you can pick up some stuff and things happen, so on and so forth. But, aha! James! I've gotta be faster than this at some point. James finds out, aha, you can get to the underbelly of the ship by going through these, sliding down these marvelous holes. He's like, ah, you brigands! You thieves! What do you think you're doing with the princess? Hmm? For the glory of Alexandria, return the princess immediately. And I think probably at this point the princess does actually say, James, calm down. I want to be here. And James, being James, goes, nonsense! You'll return to the Queen! They have stolen you! Because James can take a hint. Also, I have to remember he's got these big leg pieces of armor, which are very round. I will save you, princess! I don't need saving. I will save you! That's basically his character in a nutshell. Meanwhile, Simeon is like, well, Simeon and Alexander the First are like, well, Princess wants to come with us. I don't care what you have to say. We're going to protect her, I guess. We're going to protect her against the person whose job it is to protect her. Because this is all sensible. How does your hair work from the side? It like goes up at the back. It's weird. It's a weird haircut. I always thought his character was based a little bit on David Bowie. I don't know if that's accurate. Is it a pot? We may never know. Anyway, as this is all happening, the Knight of Pluto, who was blocking up the emergency entrance exit thing, rushes in. And James goes, "Aha! You're surrounded! Hand over the princess at once." At which point, obviously, the knight goes, "Don't worry, princess, we got you." Because believe it or not, it was March. Ah, what a reveal. Still March. And James is like, "Oh! How dare you impersonate one of the Knights of Pluto, you fiend!" And they have a fight. What weapon does March use? Also, I've just now... No, don't worry, ignore me. Oh, he uses the sword. Big shoes. Meanwhile, Princess is in the back going, "Ooh." I think it's a pot. Feels like it, doesn't it? So what you're learning from this draw through is 1, everyone's having a bad day. 2, the Knights of Pluto are dumb AF. 3, March is the only capable person around. Yeah. Yeah. That's not wrong. And it's worth bearing those things in mind as we go forward. But we will not be going forward today. Today we will be going nowhere. By which I mean that's the end of the stream. Progress was made. We're almost done with the first part of the game. Scene 1 is almost over. That's not true. But the escape is underway. We now know that the princess wants to escape, is actively asking to be kidnapped. Everyone's on board. The only person who's not on board is James, who is very much, well, spoilers, is never gonna really want to get on board. It's sworn duty to protect the princess from thieves and brigands. They're not thieves and brigands, they're actors. Thanks for giving the entire squad for the dumbest person you've ever met. Yay. They're all dumb in their own way. And with that, bid you adieu. Love that for them. Yeah, and I'm apparently drawing them in skimpy battle outfits. I'm going to make a little design for each of them before I do that. Give them a bit of personality. I think that'll be fun. Why not? Yeah. Music's a bit intense right now. This is played like 4 times this stream, which is good because it was intended for this stream. Thank you for tonight. I'm glad you enjoyed. Slow going on this part of the game, really is, but we will get there. We're like 0.5% of the way through the game, which, if we extrapolate, means that this game will probably take 200 streams. No, it won't. Sorry, 400. I know how maths works. Thank you for the stream. Thank you for being here and suggesting silly things for me to draw. Went a little bit longer today before my wrist messed up because I spent the afternoon doing non-drawing things. I'm planning ahead. Yeah, pacing's not always like this. We can blast through a bunch of stuff. We don't need to see all of the side bits later on of like, oh, this character finds a nut. Probably don't need that. Although the nuts are important, turns out, but not yet. Yee. So I'll be back tomorrow morning, hopefully, with a little doodle stream. Maybe we will doodle some art for this album of music, maybe. See if we can work something out for that. But the next, and tomorrow evening will be Chip stream, as far as I'm aware. We're doing a new DLC, right? No, we've started a new DLC. We started a new. Oh, my brain is frazzled. More DLC, more Borderlands. Yeah. Oh yeah, there are 2 more, aren't there? Yeah. We haven't started it yet, but we know that there are 2 more. Yeah. Looking forward. Have 0 clue what it's about. That's the best. I reckon it's about a person wearing a fish. Something with cowboys, maybe? Clay? Question mark? We live in hope. Yeah, looking forward to whatever. Looking forward to hanging out with friends, watching a chip stream. But yes, so that'll be tomorrow evening. Drawing stream tomorrow morning, and then we'll be back on Saturday with the continuation of Solasta if everybody is available. Yeah, and probably some more music on Saturday morning as well. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed. Hope you had a good time. And I'll be back in the future, in the times that I've literally just said, because I apparently say it a lot and forget that I say it a lot, and then say it again. I'll leave you with some alleyway music for a place we haven't been to yet in the game. Have a lovely time, everybody. I hope you had a good time, and have a great week. I'll see you at some point in the future, hopefully. Look after yourselves, everyone. Don't be like the Knights of Pluto. Goodbye!